Sterling Jenkins. I am the movie guy.
And I'm Joe Russell, the music guy.
Well, this is a new show that we're putting together. We have no idea how it'll work out, how it'll progress through each episode, if even it'll get past this episode. So we're just going to give it a shot. And we just want to talk about movies. I just want to talk about movies. He just said he wanted to be on the internet. So the first movie we're going to talk about is the new Amazing Spider-Man 2. You said you hadn't gone to see it yet, right?
I haven't seen it yet, so I'm ready to hear about it.
Did you like the first one?
Oh, yeah. Don't ask me if I remember a lot from it, because I don't, but I loved it.
But did you like it more than the Tobey Maguire version?
I don't know. That's tough. I think I like Tobey Maguire better.
Really? See, I enjoyed the Tobey Maguire movies. I admit that I did. But I wasn't entirely impressed with them. Whenever I saw... dude, are you really? All right, cool.
Just saying, we're talking about movies, gotta have snacks.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. We'll do that from now on. With the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, I really liked them. I did, except for the third one. 2 hours of crap for a 20-minute awesome fight scene. But whenever I saw the Andrew Garfield version, it really made me want to learn more about the Spider-Man because I didn't read the comics, and you were really distracting. I didn't read the comics. I'm sorry. When I was a kid, I was not a comic book fan, and so I was really excited whenever Marvel started bringing the comic universe into my realm, which is movies. And so whenever I saw Tobey Maguire, it was a Spider-Man movie. It was fantastic. But like I said, the Andrew Garfield version really made me want to learn more about Spider-Man. So I started doing my research. I'm still not going to read comic books. But I started doing my internet research, and I found that I was actually rather impressed with where they took it. So as far as part 2, without trying to give too much away, part 2 handled very well the comedic side of Spider-Man, which I've discovered is actually a big part of Spider-Man. Yeah. Because apparently Spider-Man is a smart ass, and I didn't know that.
No. I think I like Spider-Man even more.
Yeah, see, with Tobey Maguire, I got more crybaby than I got smart ass.
He's still got a pretty good looking lady.
The lady aside, I mean, Emma Stone in the new one, she kind of contests with Kirsten Dunst a little bit. I mean, granted, they're playing different characters, but the leading lady is very comparable.
Yeah. But the sensitive guy got the hotter lady.
Perhaps, but the more badass superhero got the more feisty lady. I will give him that. So anyway, the movie it has Andrew Garfield, Emma Stone playing Gwen Stacy, Jamie Foxx playing a giant blue electro badass villain. Although I really was impressed with how they handled the character turning into the villain Electro. Do you know anything about Electro?
No.
I didn't either. I'm not a comic book guy. I'd never heard of this guy before in my life. In fact, when I saw the trailer, I thought they were going to merge Spider-Man with Avatar because he was a big blue guy. But it was actually a pretty cool. It was actually a pretty cool character. You felt bad for the guy, which I think added to it because he didn't start out being the bad guy. In fact, at first, it was really hard to see how he was going to turn into. What you think of a bad guy? Think of it like a badass. Mm-hmm. But the movie really kept with you felt sorry for the guy pretty much all the way through the end.
A bad guy you feel sorry for.
Yeah. You wish he hadn't become a bad guy, but it was all circumstantial, which I think is a big part of the way the world works. It's all circumstance.
I really need to start making time to watch movies.
Well, the other villain in the movie is, of course, the infamous Green Goblin. Now, anybody that knows anything about Spider-Man, or even if they just saw the original series, the Green Goblin is a product directly from Oscorp. Norman Osborn and eventually his son, Harry Osborn. Slight spoiler, I apologize. But if you know anything about the Spider-Man movies, you would know that Harry Osborn does turn into the Green Goblin. The makeup in this movie for the Green Goblin surprised me because it became more about the makeup rather than a prosthetic. Like in the originals with Tobey Maguire, the Green Goblin, it was a mask, but it became more about the makeup and the character. And I thought that was it was both interesting and in a good way and a bad way for me.
Was it like makeup, like he would put on him makeup before he became the Green Goblin, or like makeup as in like FX?
Well, I don't really want to go too much into it, but it's more of a mutation.
Okay.
Which I thought, like I said, it's interesting that they chose mutation. I don't know if that went that way in the comics, or if that's just something for the movie, or if it was a variation in the comics. But it was more of a genetic thing that he became the Goblin.
Cool.
And the flight pack was awesome. And I was actually rather cool. They put a nod. Do you know anything about the Green Goblin and his weaponry?
Didn't he have the pumpkins that blew up?
Yeah, he had the pumpkin bombs, and you actually get to see one in this one. It was rather cool.
Nice.
They made it very realistic. But the last thing I'll say about the new movie, whether you're a comic book fan or not, or if you're a Tobey Maguire fan or not, you'll really enjoy this movie. It was packed full of humor right from the beginning. There were a whole lot of head nods to Spider-Man-esque. I guess you would call it the mythology behind Spider-Man. There was lots of nods. Of course, this being a Marvel movie, Stan Lee was in this movie as well. Spot him at the very beginning. You almost didn't realize he was going to be in it that fast, and when he popped up, hey, okay, there he is. And I cannot remember what he was doing in this movie when he showed up. It was that soon in the movie. It was a surprise, and so I've done forgotten about it. So, anything you want to add since you haven't even seen the movie yet?
Not really. Does he still keep the girl?
Actually, I'm glad you asked that because it's actually very interesting. They brought in 3 different endings for this movie because maybe you know this, maybe you don't. I don't know. In the comics, Gwen Stacy eventually dies. That's why we have Mary Jane come in later on. So a lot of the speculation of this movie was whether or not Gwen Stacy was going to die in this movie or she was going to live. They actually had 3 different endings, and they filmed each of the endings just to see, well, not to see, but to hide the true ending. But I won't give it away for you.
That is true. You did mention that to me when you saw it in theaters. To sit through the credits, and that there's 3 different endings.
Well, it didn't show all 3.
Oh, it doesn't?
No, they just filmed 3 endings so that nobody knew the true ending of what would just become Gwen Stacy's destiny, because everybody knows that she's going to be dying soon in the overall story, but whether or not she died in this movie, we'll see. You know, because it became a big thing, I'll just let it be for you to view whenever you go see it.
Cool.
It was a great scene though. The overall end fight scene, you have no idea if she's going to die or not, and it was a great fight scene at the end. And what I did like about the fight scene, it was Spider-Man versus the other 2 almost simultaneously.
Really?
Yeah, it was actually really nicely done. And it does lead into more Spider-Mans as time goes on very nicely. This one could definitely be a standalone, or it could be the lead up to a sequel. It was good. I enjoyed it.
I like that.
Because this is our first episode, we don't really know how we're gonna do all of our little quirks. There are a couple of movie guys, critics. I'm not gonna be a critic. I just want to be a review guy. That they do the whole thumbs up thing.
I'll be the critic.
You'll be the critic?
I'll be the critic.
Of a movie you've never seen before.
This movie sucks. This movie's awesome. She's hot. You're ugly. Do that.
All right. Well,
Same.
Well, what would you rate this movie?
I haven't seen her, so I don't know.
Her. Well, you have certainly established your part of this.
And depending on how much of a smartass he is.
Oh, extremely. It's awesome.
And it might be worth seeing.
I thought he was more of a smartass than in the first movie. I mean, he was pretty much a smartass in the first movie.
Then it sounds like I am going to give this probably 2 thumbs up. We'll see. I got to see it soon.
Alrighty. Yeah, because it will be out of theaters eventually.
She was a fugitive to the police, a sensation to the media, and a symbol of courage to young people everywhere to fight for what's right.
Everywhere.
The legend of Billie Jean.
Have you ever seen this movie?
Who's Billie Jean?
Billie Jean was played by Helen Slater.
Who's Helen Slater?
An actress more in the 80s, but she's done stuff since then, but she hadn't gotten real big. She played Supergirl, if you happen to remember that.
Yes.
That really horrible but still entertaining movie, Supergirl.
We got to remember, I was born in the late 80s, so I didn't catch the whole 80s.
Yes, but you have seen movies. You have, as a matter of fact, I believe one of your favorites is The Three Amigos.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. I rest my case. But anyway, there is no real reason you would have ever heard of Billie Jean. Billie Jean is one of those movies that, oh my goodness, no one has ever heard of. So when I saw that it was playing on cable today, I had to record it on my TiVo. So maybe you can get a chance to watch it. It's Helen Slater, Christian Slater, absolutely no relation whatsoever.
Really?
None. Dean Stockwell, Peter Cody, Yardley Smith. Do you know who that is?
I know Christian Slater out of all of them. That's it.
Yardley Smith does the voice of Lisa Simpson. She's actually 12 years old in this movie.
Really?
Well, she at least plays 12. I don't know how old she actually is. But it's a pretty good movie. It's set in Corpus Christi, Texas. And it was even filmed there. They play a bunch of teenagers that Billie Jean's brother had a run-in with a bully, and the bully trashed his motor scooter. So his big sister, Billie Jean, goes to the bully's father's store and delivers the estimate for the repairs. Stuff happens, and
you don't touch another man's scooter, it's like touching another man's head or messing with another man's woman.
well, basically the way it plays out a little bit, and the father of the bully ends up getting shot.
Don't touch a scooter.
Yeah, it escalated very quickly.
Don't touch another man's scooter.
You actually also don't mess with Billie Jean.
Hey, it was filmed in Texas. You don't touch another man's anything.
Pretty much.
Or you will get shot.
That goes to include people's sister, as it appears in this movie. Right. So basically what ends up happening is once the father gets shot, they run. You know, they're teenagers. They are running. So they go pack all their stuff, they write a note to their mom saying they love them, and then they are gone. And the whole movie is the cops trying to work deals with Billie Jean to try to get her to come in and sort the whole mess out. Billie Jean, however, knows how it's going to work out. They're a bunch of crazy kids, as they put it in the movie. And they are trying to get things sorted out so that nobody is going to be hurt, injured, or anything like that. They want their side of the story told. Mm-hmm. Pretty good movie, and a very good Joan of Arc diatribe within it.
Nice.
Diatribe is the wrong word, but I don't know the word, but it works in that sentence. It's a theme. Joan of Arc theme.
Now, for people that haven't seen this and are looking to see it, can you find it on Netflix, or do you know of any other places that would still have it?
It is not on Netflix, and I've actually went through Hastings, and they don't have it. It's not even in print, I discovered. It's actually a discontinued DVD.
So possibly Amazon or eBay?
Amazon does have it, and in fact, I had it on my wish list for a while, but now that I've got it on my TiVo and I don't have to delete it anytime soon, I probably won't buy it.
There you go.
Although I still might, because I like to chip in, my $10, however much they get for in royalties or whatever. Maybe Christian Slater, not Christian, but Helen Slater will make a comeback in movies because she's older. She's probably got kids. She's probably a MILF. I mean, the girl did play Supergirl.
Super MILF.
And then that's a whole different movie, and one we're not going to discuss here.
Okay.
We're also going to be doing, and eventually within our episodes, horror movies. The guitar guy to my left is also a huge horror movie fan, just as I am. Movie trivia. Do you know what that means?
That you're fucked and Jason's right behind you.
Well, you're kind of sort of right, but do you actually know what it means to Jason? There is actually a point to that sound.
That's like when he sees red, that he's just ready to kill.
That's his mother egging him on. You didn't know that, did you?
No.
The was actually the word kill, and was her. Always kill, her. That's how Jason
Never
hears
knew
it in his
that.
head. Yes. So that is actually his motivation to keep killing.
That's a lot different, like, egging on than I get from my mother. Mine was like, ah! So it's a lot different.
You know, your mother might just actually watch this.
No, because then you kill her.
All right. So if she ever shows up missing or, heaven forbid, dead, you will now be the prime suspect, in which we will talk about.
No.
We will talk about Scream one day when they're talking about how to avoid being a suspect in horror movies.
Hello?
Why don't you want to talk to me?
Who is this?
You tell me your name, I'll tell you mine.
I don't think so.
What's that noise?
Popcorn.
You making popcorn?
Uh-huh.
I only eat popcorn at the movies.
Well, I'm getting ready to watch a video.
Really? What?
Oh, just some scary movie.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
Halloween. You know, the one with the guy in the white mask who walks around and stalks babysitters?
Which is, my opinion only, Scream was horrible for a horror movie.
Actually, I rather loved the original Scream. 2, 3, 4, 5 million. They decreased, and I'll freely admit, I'm a reviewer, not a critique of it in any way. I did not even see Scream 4. Once I got past 2, I kind of didn't want to see 3, but I saw parts of it, and 4 is never mind. But I actually rather did like part 1.
I gave up after 2. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, again, movie trivia, since we're on the topic of Scream now, do you know why it became such a big thing during the makings of those movies? About who the killer was?
No.
Even in the script, it never said who the killer was through the entire script.
Really?
The killer was never revealed until the scene to reveal that character was filmed.
So none of the actors or actresses even knew who was
Correct.
going to play the murder.
Correct. Not until they actually played the scene and they unmasked Ghostface. They didn't even know going into the filming. He did it so that way their reaction would be genuine whenever they unmasked Ghostface.
That's pretty awesome.
Did you ever see the movie Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back?
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Do you remember there's a scene in there when they get onto the movie set for Stab 4, I think it was. Obviously a funny reference to Scream, where she rips off the Ghostface mask and there's a monkey.
Yeah.
Her reaction to that was, really, Wes? A monkey? You've gone too far this time. Something to that effect.
Yeah.
That was actually because the way that the Scream movies worked. She wouldn't have known who Ghostface was until she pulled it off. And when they were filming it, it was a monkey. And so she was kind of annoyed.
That's actually pretty cool.
And then once you know the backstory of that, yeah.
He has my sense of humor.
Yes. I wish he'd make more stuff. Wes Craven and John Carpenter. He makes some pretty awesome films. He hasn't done one since The Ward.
I don't think I've seen that one yet.
That was a fantastic one. Great psychological film. It depends on how jaded you are with horror movies as to just how scary it is. I didn't find it at all scary, but I am extremely jaded. Mm-hmm. However, the psychology behind that movie was phenomenal, and with a terrific twist at the end.
Cool. I'll check that out.
For the longest time, that one was on Netflix. I don't know if it still is.
I need to check it out.
All right. So, what I'm going to be doing is when we get this set up, I will be accepting comments and emails. So if you want me to review a movie, it doesn't matter what movie, all the way from Nosferatu to Back to the Future, let me know and I will be happy to talk about it with Joe. In the meantime, you guys keep watching movies. That's what makes the entertainment industry go, is by going and actually seeing them. I know the movie...
Was that comment made toward me?
No, just in general. The movie theater prices are going up, but you gotta think, man, how much movies are going up too.
Yeah.
So I don't really mind going to go buy a ticket in the theater. You know what I do mind is buying a bag of
It's
popcorn.
outrageous. I almost had to give up my child just to get a large Dr. Pepper. Or here and be Mr. Pibb. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Mr. Pibb, yes. You know, I actually read somewhere that they a large bag of popcorn cost them 10 cents.
And they're going to charge us like, what,
$4?
$4?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a $3.90 markup. That's insane.
Wow.
They don't even make their movie from the ticket sales. They make it from the popcorn.
Yeah, they do.
So anyway, you guys keep watching your movies. Give me something to talk about so they keep making more. I'll just talk more about movies and we'll just keep it on going. You guys have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching the first episode. Let us know what you think.
Later.